Good Sunday morning, Piedmont Triad. Thank you for joining us on WFMY Plus. We're getting ready to move into a very soggy, wet, and potentially flash flooding situation as we go into the new work week. So you want to keep it right here on WFMY Plus. We'll have updates, this update this morning, and then more coming up this evening. And then all day on Monday and into Tuesday, we'll continue to keep you updated. We don't expect severe weather, but we could have some heavy downpours that could potentially lead to some areas of flash flooding. Let's jump in and talk about it. First of all, weather impact alert will be in effect for all of our area for Monday and for Tuesday. We're pretty much looking at a washout for Monday and Tuesday especially, but we even keep showers in the forecast right on through Wednesday. Widespread rain, some embedded non-severe storms, which could just add to the misery of the potential for some heavy downpours. You're going to need the rain gear. The umbrella is going to get a workout over the next several days. And also, you want to have a way to get potential flash flood watches and warnings, and you can do that with the WFMY News 2 weather app. It's absolutely free. All you got to do is just download it. It's like having a weather station in the palm of your hand. You can see live radar and of course any watches or warnings that are issued for flash flooding in our area. You'll be able to get that information, and of course you can also get that information from us as well. Look at the high probabilities of rain over the next several days. Mother's Day, we've got some rain moving through, but not a washout day. Maybe a little break as we head through the afternoon, but even today, 50% chance of scattered showers across the area. No severe weather, but there have been some rumbles of thunder and some heavy downpours. Look at this, Monday and Tuesday, 80% chance of rain on Monday, 60% chance on Tuesday, and then we're keeping our fingers crossed and being optimistic about this as we go into Thursday and Friday and even into the weekend. We think the atmosphere is finally going to start to dry out, but in the meantime, a soaking rain in store for our area. The first round of rain has been moving through our area this morning. That will continue to track on up through the Triad. Notice the yellow and orange coloring on the radar. This is where we're seeing some pockets of very heavy rain. Lee County, Moore County, our friends in Montgomery County around Troy getting some pockets of heavy rain. That is moving into Chatham County, also around Asheboro and Randolph County. It is soaking wet over in the Lexington and Thomasville area, and this will continue to advance to the north. Now I think most of this will be north and east of the Triad around midday, 12 or 1 o'clock, and then after that, hopefully anything that we have in terms of rain for the afternoon will be very widely scattered in nature. But again, no severe weather here. You may hear some rumbles of thunder and certainly getting some very heavy downpours associated with this. Now this is our forecast model. We look down the road and see how things are going to play out over the next several days. This batch of rain will lift north of our area. Being pretty optimistic for the afternoon. We will see maybe a scattering of showers, but not much showing up on the forecast radar. So we may have a little lull in the precipitation as we go through the afternoon and early evening. But I think after midnight tonight, more rain is going to be coming in from the south, and the commute is just going to be miserable on Monday morning. Likely some heavy downpours and some standing water on the streets and highways, and that's going to be the case when you come home in the evening as well, not only on Monday but into Tuesday as well, as we continue to see deep layer moisture move in from the south again, producing some heavy downpours across our part of the Piedmont. And it's all being caused by this really stubborn area of low pressure. First, we're looking at the surface weather map. Low pressure over the deep south is in a prime position to really tap into some moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. That moisture is overriding a warm front and spreading the rain elements into our part of the Piedmont. Now notice this is for 12 12 noon today, I'm going to put it in motion and look where the low pressure goes. It doesn't go anywhere, really. It pretty much spins in just about the same position. So that means more moisture moving in from the Gulf of Mexico, overriding the warm front. And you can see the widespread rain at midday across our part of the Piedmont coming up on Monday. Now, usually we see these systems develop in the Gulf and track to the northeast and move out fairly quickly. This one's not going to do that. It's going to hang around for a little while with very slow movement. And the reason for that, we've got to go into the upper levels of the atmosphere in what we call the jet stream level. That's the river of air in the upper atmosphere that kind of steers our surface systems generally from west to east across the area. Well, this is a cutoff low. It's cut off from the main jet stream, so it doesn't have anything to push it out. So this thing's just going to kind of meander across the southeastern United States right on through Tuesday and even into Wednesday. We'll keep scattered showers in the forecast on Wednesday. We're hopeful, based on the model data, that by Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we'll start to see some improvements as eventually that low pressure will be kicked to the northeast. Now, look at our extended European model. Again, Monday morning, a washout. As a matter of fact, all day Monday and through Tuesday night is going to be pretty much a washout for our part of the Piedmont. So again, be on the lookout for rain and allow yourself a little extra time on the morning commute, the ride home from work, and then you're going to have to do it all over again, because on Tuesday we're going to keep it rather wet here in the Piedmont. Now, hopeful signs as we move into Wednesday. Maybe Wednesday, although we have a 50% chance of showers in the forecast, we think they will be more scattered in nature as we go into Wednesday and Wednesday afternoon, and then we move forward into Thursday and even into Friday. Although we keep a low shower chance in the forecast, I think we're going to get a little drier air into the mix, and that low pressure will continue to finally track on to the northeast. So finally, by about Thursday and Friday, we'll see at least some drying in the atmosphere across the Piedmont. I think one good thing about this slow-moving system is that we don't expect severe weather. This is the severe weather outlook for the day on Monday. Now, from Charlotte down through South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, northern Florida, in the low end risk for the possibility of maybe an isolated strong or severe storm in those areas, but we are not in that risk. Now, even so, you may hear some rumbles of thunder from time to time, and even a non-severe storm would have the possibility of some producing some very heavy downpours in our part of the Piedmont that could aggravate and lead to the possibility of flash flooding. Speaking of the flooding risk, a flood watch has been issued for all of our area in North Carolina and Southern Virginia as we go through Monday and into Tuesday morning. I wouldn't be surprised, and we'll have to see how this plays out, but this could be extended beyond 8 a.m. on Tuesday, but right now it goes up until 8 o'clock. Now, remember the difference between a watch and a warning. A watch means that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to watch the radar. We're going to watch how things unfold over the next several days. The watch in place, but so far no flood warnings. That's the reason that WFMY News 2 weather app is so important. Not only can you see live radar, but any watches or warnings that are issued for any type of severe weather, in this case it would be flash flooding, you will get that in the palm of your hand on your phone. And don't forget, that app is absolutely free. Now, we look at the flash flood risk for Monday. We're in the level 2, so that is the slight risk for the possibility of some heavy downpours that could lead to some flash flooding across the area. On Tuesday, It's downgraded just a little bit, but still we're in the low end risk for the possibility of some rain that could produce flash flooding even through the day on Tuesday and into Tuesday night. So just based on this, I think the more active weather pattern and the potential for heavy downpours will be in our part of the Piedmont as we go through the day on Monday and into Monday night as well. We're looking at anywhere from 2 to 3 inches of rain. I think in general for the immediate triad and areas to our west out over the mountains and foothills, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of soaking rain are a possibility over the next 5 days, with the greatest amount of rain on Monday especially and into the day on Tuesday. But even more scattered showers are in the offing as we go into Wednesday. Still looking for that dry trend or drier trend as we go into Thursday and Friday. So for the rest of Mother's Day, not a washout day. We've got some rain moving through this morning and some heavy downpours, but I think it will become more isolated in nature during the afternoon. Temperatures hold into the upper 60s for highs today. Little break in the action for the afternoon and early evening, but after midnight, the rain starts to ramp back up under a mostly cloudy sky. About a 60% chance of rain later tonight after midnight as lows dip into the upper 50s. Tomorrow, rain is likely. A washout day on Monday and a washout day coming up on Tuesday as well. 67 the high on Monday, and again, some of that rain could be heavy at times, and we'll be watching things very closely for you for the possibility of maybe some downpours that could lead to some flash flooding across the area. We look ahead in the Triad 7-day forecast. Of course, weather impact alert days have been issued for Monday and for Tuesday, and that's the time frame that we're going to watch very, very closely for the possibility of some flash flooding. Thankfully, no worries about severe weather. We're just on the lookout for some heavy downpours that could lead to flash flooding. And even if we don't have flash flooding, there's going to be a lot of ponding of water on the streets and highways during this period. So if you got to drive going to and from work anytime on Monday and Tuesday, you got to be extra careful. We don't want anybody hydroplaning and having accidents across the Piedmont. As we go into Wednesday, we keep a 50% chance of scattered showers in the mix, and then we're being very optimistic here for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We're going to lower the rain chance as this stubborn low pressure finally moves out of the area. Only a 20% chance for Thursday through Saturday, but we're going to crank up the heat a little bit. The rain keeps us cooler for the first part of the week, but look at the temperatures climb. By Thursday, we're into the mid 80s, and by Friday, we could see temperatures warming into the upper 80s here in our part of the Piedmont. And if you're just joining us, want to recap weather impact alert days for Monday and Tuesday. Not for severe weather, but for the possibility of some heavy downpours that could lead to flash flooding. This is going to be an all-day rain for Monday and for Tuesday. Widespread rain, maybe some rumbles of thunder, but again, at this point, we don't expect severe weather. You'll need to grab the rain gear, and if you have not downloaded that WFMY News 2 weather app, I know I preach this sermon quite a bit, but that app is just so important and so useful and loaded with information. You download that on your smartphone, you've got live radar at any time, day or night, and again, any watches or warnings that are issued for the possibility of flash flooding, you'll have that information right in the palm of your hands. Now, high probability of rain, 50-50 chance today, but again, the greatest threat of rain will come our way coming up on Monday and into Tuesday, and then kind of a downtrend as we try to dry out the atmosphere just a little bit as we go into Thursday and Friday. Want to recap Mother's Day. I wish I could do better for all the moms around the Piedmont. This batch of rain moving through midday. It'll track on to the north. Behind it, not a lot going on That makes me feel optimistic for the afternoon today, although we'll keep a shower in the forecast through the afternoon and early evening. Once this batch moves through, we're not seeing much. But right now, heavy downpours moving into the Triad. If you're going to be driving to church services this morning, be aware that there's likely some ponding of water on the streets and highways. And again, we'll continue to see a good chance of soaking rain for our part of the Piedmont right on through Tuesday, more in the way of scattered showers as we move into Wednesday, and then we're keeping our fingers crossed that we're going to be able to dry things out as we go into Thursday and Friday as this low pressure moves away. Stay with us over the next several days. We're going to continue to give you updates on WFMY Plus. We'll give you the information you need in all of this rain that we expect over the next few days. Have a wonderful Mother's Day and have a great week ahead. Stay with us. We're going to keep you updated through the week.